Good evening. Welcome to the Derry Town Council meeting for Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. My apologies for the late start. We had a prior meeting. Councilor Webb, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. In case of emergency, there's an exit in the back of the room. If you need assistance, the guys in the white shirts over there are glad to help you. If you have cell phones, please silence them. And we will. Councilor Granessi.
Good evening.
Councilor Webb.
Good evening.
Councilor Spencer online.
Yes, Mr. Chair, she's with us.
Councilor Spencer.
Good evening.
Good evening. Councilor Chase.
Good evening.
Councilor Mojay. Good evening. Councilor Mojay, I'm sorry, McGackern.
Good evening.
And good evening from the chair. All right. Was there consent on there? No. iPhone.
It's missing from our printed agenda, Mr. Chair.
Oh, you're missing page 2?
Yeah.
Page 2.
Yep.
I can go make some copies if you want. Real quick, what do you want? I printed mine from the house.
I see, 1 second. All right. Public forum.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to open the public forum.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion up public forum in a second. On the motion, Councilor Granessi.
Yes.
Councilor Webb.
Yes.
Councilor Spencer.
Yes.
Councilor Chase.
Yes.
Councilor Mojay.
Yes.
Councilor McGeckern.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Public hearing is now open. If you wish to speak, please come up, state your name and address for the record.
My name's Jim Foley. I live at 178 Hampstead Road here in Derry. I apologize for both my appearance and my tone. I was literally on a plane at 12:50 a.m. this morning in Vancouver, flying back here from a West Coast business trip. I believe both the town administrator and some of the members of the council are aware of what my discussion is going to be this night in regards to the Zoning Board of Adjustments meetings on June 5th and on June 19th. Now, because of business commitments, I was unable to attend the Zoning Board meeting on June 5th, but did appear at the meeting on June 19th in regards to the granting of a variance for the Delhana Nursery to put a commercial sign in a residential area. Now, while we disagree with the decision of the Zoning Board on granting the variance, and we have made our appeals to that, doesn't have to do with the decision, has to do with the behaviors and the attitudes of certain members of that zoning board. And while I recognize that they are volunteers and citizens who give their time here, nonetheless, the attitudes and behaviors shown in both of those meetings were inappropriate. I was shocked when at the June 19th meeting to see how hostile the environment was. And so I've had a chance to review the June 5th meeting, and it was much the similar sort of thing. Members of the board, especially Chairman Perkins and to a lesser extent Member Corbett, were demeaning, condescending, confrontational, and in a number of cases misogynist in their response to citizens who had come before to attempt to explain their feelings and needs and their thoughts about the placing of that sign in the residential area. So again, this council oversees those boards. And I think it's appropriate that this council be aware of those behaviors at those meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Andrew Roje, 164 Hampstead Road here in Derry. Unfortunately, I'm also here to speak about the Zoning Board of Adjustment. After having spoken to some of my neighbors who attended the previous 2 zoning board meetings, and after having spoken to a member of this town council who expressed their distaste with how I and others were treated by the zoning board, I felt it was important to come here tonight and speak to you directly as well. At the meetings held on June 5th and June 19th, the zoning board appeared to be on a mission to belittle and insult residents of Derry who came forward to speak against an application for a zoning variance. On June 5th in particular, the chair of the board appeared to may have suggested, that the input of 20 local residents may have been taken into lesser account because their comments were submitted in writing rather than delivered in person. Unfortunately, I cannot at this time give you Mr. Perkins's direct quote, as the meeting minutes from the June 19th meeting have not been published as of today, 26 days later. Nor have the June 5th meeting minutes been published 40 days later, despite RSA 91A requiring them to do so in only 5 business days. After returning home from that meeting, I was dismayed by the conduct that I had witnessed and been subjected to. I looked up the board's written policies and procedures under RSA 676, Section 1, and I was further disturbed by what I found there. According to those procedures, the duties of the ZBA members include being courteous to the applicant or their representative, and maintaining decorum and extending courtesy to the chair, members, and alternates. What stood out to me, and what I find troubling, is that these policies appear to go out of their way to omit any requirement to treat the general public with courtesy. That omission speaks volumes, and unfortunately, recent meetings have reflected that attitude. I respectfully call upon this council to do the following. 1, direct the Zoning Board of Adjustment, per the State of Right to Know Law RSA 91A, to publish meeting minutes within the time frame allowed by state law. 2, to direct the Zoning Board of Adjustment, per RSA 676, Section 1, to amend its policies and procedures to explicitly require courtesy and respectful treatment of the public. The citizens of Derry who take the time to engage with local government deserve no less than that. 3rd, I also ask that the council take action under RSA 673, Section 3A, as amended by HB 1661 in 2022, which permits zoning board members to participate in training offered by the New Hampshire Office of Planning and Development. Specifically, what I ask is that the council direct the town administrator to develop and implement a mandatory training schedule for all ZBA members, one that includes training in public conduct, meeting decorum, and respectful public engagement. As a side note, I do want to share with you that this issue is personal for me. My experience with the zoning board has been my first introduction to working with local government, and frankly, it's been disheartening, upsetting, and at times even degrading. I sincerely do hope that this is not considered normal, and I ask you to take these steps so that others who choose to engage in civic life here in Derry have a more respectful experience than I've experienced thus far. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wasn't going to come up, but my name is Brenda Davison. I live on 1 Wishing Well Lane. I'm going to direct a butter to the Delahunty Nursery. I was at both those meetings, and the way that people were treated was awful. And I would like the board, you guys to look into it if possible. I emailed Mr. Fowler a couple weeks ago. I've heard nothing, but I would ask that you guys go back and watch those. The way we were treated was awful. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public wish to speak?
Seeing none, rise online, Mr. Chair.
There's a couple more coming here, thank you.
But not online, okay.
But nice to know.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Paul Lindeman, 1 Jewel Lane. I'm on the Derry Heritage Commission. I wanted to share some praise for our former chairperson, Karen Blanford Anderson. You accepted her resignation in your last meeting. She has moved to Portsmouth, and she did for about 10 years incredibly hard work and great leadership in the last several years for the Heritage Commission and the History Museum. I also wanted to curse her a bit because I've been voted in as the new chairperson. So I wanted to introduce myself in that capacity. Later this evening, we have an alternate member, Lynn Murray, who's an incredible contributor. We've asked that she be promoted up to permanent member to fill Karen's slot. Hopefully there's no issues on that. And I wanted to mention we will be closed or not opening the museum for July and August because we're doing major cleaning, reorganizing, improving exhibits to come out strong in September. Also, we've just sponsored a Eagle Scout project in Forest Hill Cemetery. He's done an awesome job with a welding crew to repair the iron fence on one of the historic grave sites there. A very important contribution. So that's a great piece of work the Scout has led. I am also, on another topic, involved in the historic preservation of the meeting house at First Parish up in East Derry. I've given updates to council in the past. I wanted to let you know that we've recently finished the sanctuary work and the entrance to the sanctuary, a major milestone. The church hadn't been able to use the building for 9 years prior, but we've been in there using it the last few months, and now we're planning the remaining stuff. There's several remaining projects yet to do. It's been 14 years and about $3 million so far, and we probably need another $1 million to finish up, so you have opportunities to contribute to fundraising in the fall to help us do that. I wanted to thank the code enforcement officers and the fire marshal. Both of those parties were incredibly supportive and helpful in making sure that we did everything correctly and safely, and I really appreciate their patience and support. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And you'll do a fine job.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Tom Carden, 2 Cunningham Drive. I just had a few comments concerning the recent judgment by the federal court in Concord concerning the rail trail. You know, the past couple of months, there have been 3 front-page articles on the Union Leader. Of course, the Derry News got in it on their front page, and this is New Hampshire Public Radio had a long article about it too, and in the editorial, the lead editorial of this past week's Union Leader also spoke about that, and I won't read what they said, but you know, they basically said that that the governor should tell the DOT to cut their losses and build the tunnel. So I do have one other thing that I'm going to read, and this is by the U.S. District Court. United States District Court Judge Paul J. Barbadoro enjoined the defendants from performing construction in the immediate proximity of the historical district that would in any way foreclose or substantially hinder the completion of the original design, which included a tunnel to preserve the Manchester Lawrence Railroad Historic District and allow further development for the rail trail. And I think they've basically ignored that. I think they're still doing the construction over there. I have lots of concerns about that. But, you know, all of this it's a bad look for Derry. And, you know, especially for the people that use the rail trail. I mean, these are the ones that are coming to town. They're going to spend money in town. And, you know, my fear is that the trail's going to end over there where Folsom is. And I would ask the town council to please get behind this tunnel project and support it. And I'm not saying monetarily. You know, they already tried to shake us down for $770,000. You know, and you know, this is their problem. They're the ones that have to fix this. And you know, I think the rail trail represents an important part of economic development for Derry, and I think people using the rail trail deserve a safe, easy access to that trail. And this is something that's going to be around for a long time, you know. And you know, 20 years down the road, if the spaghetti trail's there, people are going to be going over there saying, "Who the heck designed this?" So anyway, you know, lastly, I had sent a an email to Wendy Johnson, who's in charge of the 4A project, and ask her what the cost of it is. And, you know, as many of you know, I've been following it for quite a few years, and I've been saying it increases $4 million a year. I was astounded when she replied to me. If anybody else has sent that email to me, with the exception of Mike Fowler, I wouldn't have believed it, but it's up to $164 million and rising. That's $5.5 million a year, and I just think it's just a terrible waste of DOT money, and I have a lot of criticism for them and how they've handled this whole project. But thank you for listening to me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And good luck, Mr. Fowler.
Thank you.
Steve Trefethen. I'm a realtor in Derry, property owner, and have my office is on Broadway. And I see Mr. Fowler is on the schedule for not only as town administrator, but chief cook and bottle washer and everything else on about 7 things. So, welcome to Derry. You know already. I'm just going to try to be brief on this. Woodmont Acres, not Woodmont, Hivac, which is over near Woodmont, got 220 acres. They're going to build 700,000 feet of warehouse. They're going to build 200 units. They still got 50 acres left. I knew this was coming. We put the same amount of money up, $5 million, as Londonderry did. And so far, all we've got, we lost $4 to $5 million worth of assessed property, buildings, along Folsom and High Street, and now we have a garage, which is not a very high assessment. So that's maybe 80, 100,000 a year since this has been going on. And the sad thing about all of this is that when we originally were working with the town, and I go way back with Keith Coda, and some people may not remember that maybe weren't around, but we were promised to get some extra land, swap land versus get money for it just so we could build. And there was town councils involved in that. We have emails, there was meetings, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there, and the state just pretty much said, forget it. We're not doing nothing with nobody. The state is just, and I know Mr. Carden mentioned this, but they've just been bad actors. I think even when they had the SOAR on the south side of Folsom, I know Mr. Fowler probably had his hands full for about a year trying to get it to put on the north side so that if we have to do work, we don't have to cut through the road. They're just hard to deal with, and they just don't want to do anything for Derry. Now, here we are with the rail trail. They have an injunction against them to not do any work. They're working there every day. They should be. I mean, and again, this is not, maybe not for town council, but I think it shows, their intent. And, it's $775,000. They try to shake us down for it, but they spend $164 million. The way this is going right now, it's possible we won't see town garages, and, another builder over there may not see office buildings, and we may see nothing but an enlarged auto garage. I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, and all we want to do is get, everybody knows I put a nice proposal in for 40,000 feet, a beautiful building. We need to bring people here, but we're not. So, okay, people in Londonderry will shop in Derry, but they're going to go to Walmart, and our money's going back right out somewhere else, and no tax base. So hopefully we can all work together. I've been mentioning this for a couple of years now. We're going to need to work together to make something happen in Derry, and I'm just hoping that we can get something done when the time comes. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. Anybody else in the public wish to speak?
Mr. Chairman, seeing no one else come to the forefront and no
Seeing
one else
none online, Mr.
online,
Chair.
I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close public hearing. On the motion, Council Grassi.
Yes.
Council Webb.
Yes.
Council Chase.
Yes.
Council Bourget.
Yes.
Council McEachern.
Yes.
Council Spencer.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes, public forum is now closed. Moving on to consent agenda, we have item 25-71, approve the minutes from June 17th, 2025. And we have item 25-72, acceptance of resignation from the Derry Conservation Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, a motion to accept the consent agenda, and a second. Council Grassi.
Yes.
Council Webb.
Yes.
Council Spencer.
Yes.
Council Chase.
Yes.
Council Mojay.
Yes.
Council McEachern.
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Motion carries 7-0. Chair's report. First off, I'd like to welcome our new town administrator to his first meeting, sitting in. He'll do a fine job, as you know. Mr. Karen left 2 weeks ago and is enjoying his retirement. And Mr. Fowler will be the captain of the ship moving forward. And we have full confidence in him. And also sitting in tonight is our deputy town clerk, Lynn, taking notes for us. So welcome tonight. Moving on, we have an appointment for the Conservation Commission. I move to appoint Cheryl Holbert as a member of the Conservation Commission for a term to expire March 31st, 2027.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. On the motion, Councilor Granessi.
Yes.
Councilor Webb.
Yes.
Councilor Spencer.
Yes.
Councilor Chase.
Yes.
Councilor Mojay.
Yes.
Councilor McEachern.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Motion carries 7-0. We have an appointment for the Robert Frost Old Stage Scenic Byway Commission. I move to appoint George Sioris as a member of the Robert Frost Old Stage Coach Scenic Byway Council.
Second.
Motion and a second. On the motion, Councilor Granessi.
Yes.
Councilor Webb.
Yes.
Councilor Spencer.
Yes.
Councilor Chase.
Yes.
Councilor Mojay.
Yes.
Councilor McEachern.
Think about this, George wants to come back, huh? Sure, absolutely, to see George again.
And the chair votes yes. Motion carries 7-0.
They don't go far when they leave, do they?
And, thanks, Dave.
I
And
wonder what
lastly-
commission Dave Karen's gonna get put on.
Lastly, we have our appointment to the Heritage Commission. I move to appoint Lynn Mari as a member of the Heritage Commission for a term to expire March 31st, 2026.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. On the motion, Councilor Granessi.
Yes.
Councilor Webb.
Yes.
Councilor Spencer.
Yes.
Councilor Chase.
Yes.
Councilor Mojay.
Yes.
Councilor McEachern.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion carries 7-0. And wrapping up. So back for this, prior to this past election, the local town election, we had a candidate forum, and I had mentioned that evening that I would disclose some information about some businesses in town that I would speak publicly about. So I can tell you about 7 or 8 years ago, Bev Donovan, our economic director, and the town administrator, Mr. Karen, the former town administrator, and I took a deep dive, and we had some illicit massage parlors in town that we were looking at, trying to put a curb to. It's taken 7 or 8 years for that to happen. This past week, last week, the Attorney General's office put out a notice. So I'm just gonna read part of it, and this is all online. You can go find this online. So it says, the Attorney General, John Formella, announces that as of today, the New Hampshire Department of Justice, together with state and federal law enforcement partners, has shut down more than 40% of known illicit massage businesses, referred to as IMBs, across the state since launching a targeted enforcement campaign in 2024. The initiative is part of the DOJ's broader effort to disrupt human trafficking and commercial sexual exploitation in New Hampshire communities. These businesses, posing as legitimate massage parlors, are often fronts for organized trafficking operations. They are typically located near schools, daycares, restaurants, residential areas, and exploiting women who are trafficked into the country, lured by false promises, isolated and controlled through coercion and debt. They very often don't comply with the state and local labor, health, safety, and licensing regulations, and frequently require exploited women to reside in the businesses even when not working. These are not real spas. They are hubs of organized trafficking hiding in plain sight, Attorney Formella said. They profit from the abuse of vulnerable women and have no place in our state. The DOJ's multifaceted response includes a landlord engagement program, a proactive effort to work with property owners to identify and shut down IMBs by terminating their leases, in collaboration with local law enforcement and national anti-trafficking nonprofit, the Network. The DOJ has confirmed the closure of at least 15 IMBs located across Derry, Londonderry, Hudson, Merrimack, Manchester, Dover, Salem, and Somersworth. In Derry, we're taking decisive action to eliminate illicit massage businesses disguised as legitimate operations. Through coordinated efforts with law enforcement, code enforcement, our health officer, and the support of the town council, we've shut down 6 operations exploiting vulnerable women. That was from Chief Fioli, he was quoted as. This is organized trafficking, not legitimate businesses, and we're committed to identifying it, shutting it down, and protecting our community. We deeply appreciate the support of Attorney General Formella and his team as we work to eliminate these illegal operations. The Attorney General's office urges landlords and residents to remain vigilant and report any suspicious businesses. Landlords who believe an IMB may be operating in their property are encouraged to contact the New Hampshire DOJ anti-trafficking tip line at 603-271-9703. And I'll wrap it up by echoing what the Attorney General has said. If you're running one of these operations, know that our efforts will continue, and until every one of these businesses is shut down, we will hold you accountable. You are part of the problem. So here in Derry, we had just under a dozen up until a month or two ago, and many of those are now gone by the wayside. So in the public, if you see any of these businesses, please let us know. In the town council, we take this very serious, and we're gonna crack down on it. This is it's not a Derry problem, it's not a New Hampshire problem, it's a national problem. It's actually an international problem. So, you know, I want to thank the council for being so supportive in our efforts trying to crack down on this. During my time investigating this and working with the Homeland Security, it's very disheartening and very sad of what goes on. And a lot of people say it doesn't happen, it's a victimless crime and all that. I can tell you 100% that is not true. This is a horrendous act of business, and I want to support those mostly women who are in this business, and many of them sometimes are minors who come here, so that has no part here in Derry. So we will continue to crack down on that with all the agencies that are mentioned. And again, thank you to the staff, and Mike Fowler's, you know, on it, code enforcement, and all of our community. So thank you. And councilors, anything to say, you're more than welcome to chime in.
You said it very well, Mr. Chairman. I agree wholeheartedly.
Great.
See something, say something.
Yes. Anything?
I just want to thank you to all the people, including several members of this town council, Chief Fioli, and others who have educated me and brought this forward to eradicate this problem.
Thank you. All right. Moving on. Town Administrator, Mr. Fowler.
It was only a matter
Sorry,
of time
it's gonna take a
before
while.
that happened, so right
Sorry.
off the bat.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, no problem. So I've got a number of items that I just want to share. They'll go pretty quickly tonight. First item that I've got is a great achievement for the 27th consecutive year. Town of Derry received notice from the GFOA. It's a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for fiscal year 2024. Town's financial staff, spearheaded by Mark Fleischer, do a great job at this, and they have held a very high standard, and it's been recognized by this organization for the 27th consecutive year. So I just want to congratulate Mark personally and the staff on that. They do an excellent job. Second item I have is we get a report every 3 years. Our DPW runs a full analysis of our pavement condition index. So we go through the budget, we ask the town council for roughly $1.6 million per year to go out and address a number of roads. And we have a very stringent strategy in terms of trying to get the roads done at a point at which it's not going to cost you 2 or 3 times because they have degraded to a point past easier rehabilitation. In our PCI index, it's more or less what you see like in a grading curve in a high school. We're rated at 88, which is the highest it's been ever in this program. It's a computer program, and that is evidence that not only does the town council spend their money wisely, but we also have a very good road program that's spearheaded by our engineering staff, in particular Dave Blanchard. He's a gentleman that probably most of you have never met, works behind the scenes, but does an excellent job at keeping our program up, managing those contractors, and doing it in a really cost-effective way. So we're happy to report that, and we're going to continue to keep that good work up. Found a Business New Hampshire article I just wanted to put out there. Just an interesting note that Derry's population rated at just over 34,000, 34,015 I think it was in 2023. And that rate of growth was only 3% from what we were in 2010. So this article looked at the top 10 populous communities, and Derry has always been number 4 in the state and had a little gap between Dover and Rochester. Well, now those two towns or those two cities are catching us. Their rates of growth over the last 10 years have been close to 10%, and those towns are now 5 and 6 are nipping at Derry's heels. So you can make of it as you will, but I think at some point we are no longer going to be the 4th most populous town slash municipality in the state. Our growth rate was the lowest out of the 10 communities that were in this study. And so that was your Manchester, your Nashua, all the way down to Hudson. So I just point that out. I did include it within the councilors' packets just for their information. I want to talk projects. Abbott Court, tomorrow's a big day. We have the bond auction through the New Hampshire Municipal Bond Bank. We're expecting a favorable rate. As soon as that comes out, I will report that to the town council and get that out. But obviously, there was a projection that was put in place, and I think we're going to hit that target. I don't see any major market concerns that have been indicated, so that'll move that project forward. We're still coordinating with LMG on the construction schedules moving forward. Fire station, we are moving very quickly to substantial completion. We're hoping to have the building in our possession by about September 1st. So you can see a lot of landscaping work. You can see a lot of finishes going on. It's really shaping up, and I think it's a building that everybody can be proud of. The fire department staff will need roughly a month to test all their systems, phones, alarms, communication, and make sure that they're good to go. When we reach that point, the fire chief and his staff will announce the official move-over date, and I'm sure there'll be some desire to do some public, celebration on that when that day comes. And then we talked a little bit about a couple of the members of the community came up and talked about the Exit 4A rail trail decision. That came down just before, I think it was June 30th. I've reached out to Wendy as well. They are not committing at this point about ultimately what their plans are. Construction is still going on because they have a contract with Weaver Brothers. As I understand it, they're working on items that they can do that are not necessarily related to what may or may not be changed for the rail crossing. So it's a lot of utility work, it's a lot of earth moving, but those are things that are independent of where the rail corridor is going to be either amended or whatever they choose to do going forward. Legislation, 2 quick notes. Obviously, House and Senate have wrapped up their budget for the next biennium. Staff will be looking at any of the zoning and other ordinances that we may need to do on a local level to be in alignment with any of the state mandates. Many of the bills are still with the governor or will be enrolled shortly. So when all that comes down, I'll be working with staff, particularly in planning and zoning, to see if there's anything that we need to do, and we'll bring those forward to town council. And then getting back to your note, Councilor Foote, HB 405 passed, and what has gone forward is there was a commission that is going to be seated with 12 members, and so there's specific notations, and I'm happy to report that that Derry has 2 seats out of the 12 designated. So New Hampshire Municipal, I am the New Hampshire Municipal representative on this particular commission. And also, George Fioli is going to be the New Hampshire Police Chief Association representative. So we're going to be really well represented on this, and we're going to continue to push to rid any of these illegal activities that you had referenced earlier within the community, and hopefully, we're able to really stamp that out. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for serving on that commission, to you and Chief Fioli. The Derry Police have been very, as everyone knows here, been very instrumental in helping with the shutdown of these businesses, so them working closely with Homeland Security. So again, if anyone sees something, like Councilor Kreski said, say something, and we are taking it serious, cracking down, and if you are partaking in any of these businesses, this is your warning. So, moving along, public hearings. 25-66, ordinance 2025-004 to amend Chapter 150 of the General Code and Traffic Regulations. Mr. Fowler.
All right, so in my former life, I inherited many of these small ordinance changes. So Highway Safety Committee was brought a concern over a couple of stop signs in the fairways, which are public roads, so the town maintains those. We have for a number of years as public ways. There were 2 existing stop signs within the complex that are in the public right-of-way. One was knocked down, and there was some research done as to whether or not it was a legal sign within our ordinance, which has several hundred signs enumerated, and found that those were not included in the town's code. So as a proactive measure, this was brought back to the Highway Safety Committee for their recommendation to have that, and now what's being asked of you is to basically, just as a housekeeping matter, formally endorse 2 stop signs, which have always been in place, but have to be entered into the code, section 150-10A under the ordinance for the town. So with that, we can open up the public hearing with any questions. Hopefully I can answer.
Public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we open the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, open public hearing. On the motion, Counselor Granessi.
Yes.
Counselor Webb.
Yes.
Counselor Spencer.
Yes.
Counselor Chase.
Yes.
Counselor Mojay.
Yes.
Counselor McEachern.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Public hearing is now open. If you wish to speak on this matter, please come up, state your name and address for the record, and we'll give it a minute and see if anyone chimes in online.
Seeing none at this time, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, seeing no one from our vast audience jumping forward, I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion to close public hearing and a second. On the motion, Counselor Granessi.
Yes.
Counselor Webb.
Yes.
Counselor Spencer.
Yes.
Counselor Chase.
Yes.
Counselor Mojay.
Yes.
Counselor McEachern.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Public hearing in this matter is now closed. Councilors, questions, comments?
Well, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm happy to read the ordinance if you'd like.
take it away.
Take it away. Ordinance number 25004 to amend Chapter 150 of the General Code for Traffic Regulations. Whereas Section 5.1 of the Town Charter designates the Town Council as the governing and legislative body of the town, and pursuant to Section 6.1, the council shall legislate by ordinance, and whereas the Town Council is responsible for adopting and amending town ordinances, whereas the Highway Safety Traffic Committee has reviewed and recommends that stop signs be approved, and whereas public safety will be enhanced through this action, now therefore be it resolved that the town's traffic ordinance section 150-10A stop intersections is hereby amended to add the following. Fairway Drive at Forest Ridge Road, northbound. Forest Ridge Road, Fairway Drive, northbound. Resolution shall take effect 30 days within its passage.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. On the motion, Counselor Granessi.
Yes.
Counselor Webb.
Yes.
Counselor Spencer.
Yes.
Counselor Chase.
Yes.
Counselor Mojay.
Yes.
Counselor McEachern.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries 7-0. Item 25-67, Resolution 2025-036, to accept unanticipated revenues from the Liberty Utilities. Mr. Fowler again.
All right. As many of the members of the public and obviously town council is aware, we have been very aggressive in looking at energy efficiency efforts, whether or not they're retrofitting existing buildings or specifying for new building products. So very early on in the fire station project, the architects had looked at certain specifications and incorporated some higher efficiency units, particularly for the HVAC units, and we also had to select the type of fuel that we wanted to use. And so we went with natural gas as opposed to propane or heating oil, and we felt that that was an appropriate balance in terms of the energy usage. So Liberty Utilities, who is our natural gas franchise, has a program that if you submit new construction to them that exceeds a baseline energy efficiency, which in this case it qualified, you give them all the specifications, you give them all the equipment that you purchase or plan to purchase, and if it qualifies, they then send an offer for a rebate. And in this case, we were able to secure a $26,027 rebate as a result of these products that were specified. So pursuant to your town charter, we have to accept these as unanticipated funds, and what we're asking tonight is that those funds are put back into the capital project fund for the fire station, because obviously there were some items that perhaps had a premium because they were purchased with certain energy efficiency items, and now you're seeing that rebate come back to you in the form of this Liberty rebate. So with that, any questions? We do have the resolution prepared reflecting those comments.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to make a motion to open public hearing.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second, open public hearing. On the motion, Counselor Crennessy?
Yes.
Counselor Webb?
Yes.
Counselor Spencer?
Yes.
Counselor Chase?
Yes.
Counselor Mojay?
Yes.
Counselor McEachran?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, public hearing is now open. If you wish to speak, come up, state your name and address.
Once
Seeing no one
again,
rise,
Mr. Chairman,
Chair.
seeing with no one jumping to the forefront, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion to close public hearing and a second on the motion.
Yes.
Counselor Crennessy? Counselor Webb?
Yes.
Counselor Spencer?
Yes.
Counselor Chase?
Yes.
Counselor Mojay?
Yes.
Counselor McEachran?
Sure.
And the chair votes yes, public hearing is now closed. Councilors, questions, comments?
Mr. Chase.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Counselor Chase?
I would just like to remind Mr. Fowler about the conversation that we had regarding the potential deficiency in the apparatus floor, and I want to make sure that there are some funds left over that can address that. You said you were going to look into it, and I just want to make sure that's taken care of now rather than later. I don't want to be playing catch-up and costing us more in the long run.
Yep. And just so, for everybody's edification, the concern raised is the radiant floor system. I'm going to look back at the engineering calculations, reach out to the architect. And obviously, this resolution is designed for putting the money back into the capital project fund, which would be spendable for remaining items within that. But if there is a need to address supplemental heating and or cooling in that particular apparatus bay, we will be transparent and bring that forward to town council. But I hear your concern, and we'll look into it.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Seeing no other questions, I will move forward with the resolution, Mr. Chair. Number 2025-036, accept unanticipated revenues from the Liberty Utilities and authorize expenditures therefrom. Whereas Section 915 of the Town Charter authorizes the Town Council to accept funding from other sources, whereas the Town Council previously authorized construction of a replacement central fire station pursuant to Resolution 2022-038, whereas the Town Council contracted with Liberty Utilities to provide natural gas to the facility, whereas a rebate program which will benefit the town is available from Liberty Utilities, now therefore be resolved in council pursuant to RSA 2195B, that the town administrator is hereby authorized to accept $26,027.13 from Liberty Utilities resulting from connecting Central Fire Station and natural gas. Further, to authorize the town administrator to transfer said funds to the Fire Station Capital Project Fund to support completion of the Central Fire Station. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that. I just want to make a note. I believe Councilman McEachran said RSA 21, it's 31. Correct?
I did? All right,
Yeah.
RSA 3195B, thank you.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, with the correction.
Appreciate it, David.
Okay, we have a motion and a second with the correction. Counselor Crennessy?
Yes.
Counselor Webb?
Yes.
Counselor Spencer?
Yes.
Counselor Chase?
Yes.
Counselor Mojay?
Yes.
Counselor McEachran?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0. Moving along to 25-73. Just confused myself here. Under new business. We have resolution 2025-041 to request use of capital reserve funds for the boiler replacement at the Derry Public Library. Derry Public Library Director Kathleen Kenny is presenting. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm actually Susan Brown, Assistant Director at the Derry Library, as
Okay.
Kathleen is on vacation this week.
Kathleen didn't tell me that. It's in the-
Okay.
We're coming before you this evening because we would like to ask permission to use money from the library's capital reserve fund to replace our failed boiler. We have a dual boiler system at the library which fatally malfunctioned last March. And the amount is $43,970. And I believe you have a memo in your packet, or I can read more information if you need more information.
Yep, anyone have any questions?
Nope, questions?
Public hearing.
We did put it out for
New
bid.
business.
New business.
Just as we already had the public hearing, so new business on this. Any questions?
Nope.
Mr. Fowler,
Pretty
anything to add?
straightforward.
Nothing to add? So just be aware that
Yep.
revised.
Yes, this is the revised one.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. Chairman, this is pretty straightforward, and they have the money in the capital reserve fund, so I will read the resolution. Number 2025-041, to withdraw funds from the Derry Public Library Capital Reserve Fund for boiler replacement at the Derry Public Library. Whereas Section 5.1 of the Town Charter designates the Town Council as the governing and legislative body of the town, and whereas the boiler at the Derry Public Library needs repair, and whereas the Capital Reserve Fund established in 2004 for maintenance of the library, and whereas the Library Board of Trustees has requested authorization to utilize a portion of said funds for the purpose, and now therefore be resolved in the council as agents to expend that the sum of $43,970 shall be transferred from the Derry Public Library Capital Reserve Fund to fund the repair. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. On the motion, Counselor Granessi,
Yes.
Counselor Spencer,
Yes.
Counselor Chase,
Yes.
Counselor Mojay,
Yes.
Counselor McEachern.
Yes. I was
The chair
just trying to
votes
find out what
yes.
the change,
Motion carries 6-0.
looking for what the difference was. It said roof in the previous.
Moving along, 25-74, Resolution 2025-042, to accept donated materials and labor at the New Hampshire, at the new fire headquarters. Assistant Chief Greg Laro. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Brown, for coming.
We weren't too hard on you, were we? We're ready? Just want to make sure you were okay.
Thank you.
Good evening,
Good
Council.
evening, Chief Laro.
So I am here tonight to request authorization for the town administrator to accept a donation from Pin Masonry Company. So about a month ago, it was discovered that all of the artist renderings of the new station were from one side, and that the site sign out by the road was going to be one-sided. So we have a sculpted stone steamer of our department insignia, and that would have been only visible from the Clam Haven side. It would have been just a flat masonry. So PIN, understanding that they did not appreciate the look of the sign when it would have been completed without the, the other emblem, they offered to donate the materials and the labor to install the sign that we purchased. So the request tonight is to authorize acceptance of that material and labor.
Okay. Questions?
So now it's a two-sided sign?
Now it'll be a the only thing that would not have been two-sided is the sculpted emblem. So it would have, in my opinion, looked rather silly to be like that.
Oh, so one side would have had a sculpted emblem and the other side wouldn't.
Correct.
But we always had a two-sided sign, I assume.
The electronic messaging center, that is two-sided, yep.
Okay. Cool.
And just for people in the public and at home, it's roughly $2,000 in value.
Yes.
Makes
Donate.
sense.
Anyone
No,
else?
very nice little donation.
All right, take it away.
All right, take it away. Another straightforward one. But we did ask you one question, so a little tougher on you than the library. Resolution 2025-042, to accept labor and materials. Pine, what did it say, Masonry?
PIN.
PN Masonry, Derry Fire Headquarters, I'll make sure I get that right. Whereas RSA 3195E authorizes the town council to accept gifts other than money to be used for public purpose. Whereas PN Masonry has been a subcontractor to Ekman Construction, and whereas the contractor and Derry Fire Department personnel have identified that the proposed marquee sign at the new Derry Fire Department headquarters could be enhanced for better aesthetics, quality, and whereas the Derry Fire Department has purchased a second emblem for the PN Masonry, has offered to donate labor and materials to mount the second emblem without incurring a change order for the project, now therefore be resolved that the town administrator is hereby authorized to accept donated materials and labor valued at $2,000 to enhance the marquee sign. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. On the motion, Counselor Granessi,
Yes.
Counselor Spencer,
Yes.
Counselor Chase,
Yes.
Counselor Mojay,
Yes.
Counselor McEachern.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Thank you, Chief, and obviously thank you to them for their
Yeah, thank you.
donation. We appreciate it.
Much appreciated, yeah, absolutely.
25-75, Resolution 2025-043. This is from the Compensated Absences Capital Reserve Fund. Chief Financial Officer Mark Fleischer. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening.
Congratulations on your award.
Oh, thank you. It's really a
You-
group effort. It's not me, it's just everybody. It's
Your team hasn't had you haven't been here for all 26, have you, at this point?
No, I have not. I just have to carry on the tradition, right?
No
So-
pressure.
No pressure at all. So during FY 2025, the town processed earned time payouts due to employee separations and earned time pay per contract totaling 1,001,333, roll-ups included. The FY 2025 other municipal obligation budget, also known as OMO, included $425,477 with roll-ups included for such pay. The difference between the budget and actual amounts paid equals $575,856. As we have in the past several years, we request transferring the compensated absence cap over these payments, which will offset account 190004 and associated roll-ups. The balance in the compensated absence capital reserve fund after this transfer will be $1,240,421. And as a reminder, the FY 2026 budget does include a $675 transfer into that fund. Any questions?
Straightforward as it always is.
Okay.
Seeing no questions, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to make a motion on 2025-043 to fund expenses from the compensated absences capital reserve fund, whereas the town council created the compensated absences capital reserve fund in 1997, whereas the purpose of the fund is to pay for the town's obligation to its employees for vested accumulated leave upon separation and for any earned time payouts in excess of budget, and whereas long-tenured employees retired in FY '25, whereas transfer of funds from compensated absence capital reserve fund will stabilize the impact of end-of-service payments on the town's general fund. Now therefore be it resolved in council that the town council, as agents to expend, hereby authorizes the withdrawal of $575,856 from the compensated absence capital reserve fund to fund accumulated leave obligations. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. On the motion, Councilor Grennessy.
Yes.
Councilor Spencer.
Yes.
Councilor Chase.
Yes.
Councilor Mojay.
Yes.
Councilor McEachern.
Yes.
The chair votes yes, motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Item 25-76, Resolution 2025-044, to transfer funds in the FY '25 budget. Mr. Fowler.
All right, again, kind of ranging back into my old hat as a DPW director, we had, last winter was a very favorable winter. We had some under expenditures, particularly in our contractor line item, and we talked a little bit about this during the budget for FY '26. So as a result of the lower costs that were incurred, we have a surplus within the line items that are related to winter maintenance in the DPW budget. And what we're asking for tonight is to move $150,000 from the FY '25 operating budget into the winter maintenance trust fund. So basically, that was established a number of years ago. We used it in 2017, it was $1. The account was replenished last year by $150,000, bringing it up to $366,000. We're asking to bring it up another $150,000, which would bring it at just over $515,000. We believe that's a safe figure. The way that this would be employed would be if we had a really rough winter, it would be a situation that we would come back to town council, request use of that winter maintenance fund, and it's there. And if you don't have to use it, it's a great thing, but we believe it's sufficient to cover without having to go back against in a tax-capped community. So with that, we're requesting that the town council adopt the resolution that's attached relative to $150,000 transfer to the winter maintenance fund.
Great. Questions?
Farmers Almanac expecting a big winter next year, Mike?
Not that I know of yet, but we
You're
always
prepping.
want to keep that in the back of our mind.
You're prepping.
Yeah.
And quick question on that. So that can be used for obviously contractors, subcontractors, fuel, like minor equipment at all, or?
Yeah, so in the past, it's been used basically to cover overtime, contractors, Consumables like fuel, salt obviously being a big one as well at like roughly $77 a ton. So if you needed 1,000 tons of salt to get you through the rest of the year, that's $77,000. So minor repairs could be included in that line item, but it's primarily fuel, salt, and contractors and obviously labor costs.
Some of the snow blowers go down or something like that. And they
Yeah,
could-
I mean, we would come back and obviously ask for that purpose if we needed it. It does make sense that if there was a major catastrophe, that something was a critical piece and we didn't have the money to cover it, we would certainly seek to use that, but it would be by council approval.
Thank you. Take it away.
All right, Resolution 2025-044, transfer of funds from the FY25 budget winter maintenance fund. Whereas Section 9.7 of the Town Charter empowers the Town Council to transfer any unencumbered appropriation balance, and whereas FY25 budget concluded that unexpended appropriations, and whereas transfer of some of the appropriations to the other projects or reserve funds would further implement Town Council goals and is supported by the long-term financial planning, now therefore be resolved in council that the Town Administrator is authorized to transfer the following amounts. From the Highway Division Operating and Winter Maintenance Fund, $150,000. This motion shall take effect immediately upon passage.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second.
Excuse me.
On the motion, Counsel Granessi.
Yes.
Counsel Spencer.
Yes.
Counsel Chase.
Yes.
Counsel Mojay.
Yes.
Counsel McEachern.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries 6-0. Winding down. Item 25-77, Resolution 2025-045, use of bond proceeds for parks and recreation facilities improvement. Ryder Field number 1. Mr. Fowler.
All right, so as many of you are aware, we have had kind of a situation where each time we've designated certain projects from the rec bonds. So back in 2018, there was a $1.8 million bond that was designated. Initially, we looked at several projects based on some changes in philosophy and maybe some other needs. There was a list that had been altered, and we came back each time to Town Council to A, indicate what those projects were, and obviously B, report kind of a status on where we are. So within the staff report, I list a number of completed projects from within there. Most of them are relatively small projects, but we've dealt with lighting, we've dealt with part of the skate park, new fencing, lodge at Alexander Carr renovation. So you can see we've been trying to spread that money around. One immediate need that has come to the forefront is some work to replenish the field at Ryder 1. We have soccer season coming up really soon. That field did not fare well over the springtime, and the Parks and Recreation Director and the DPW Director, Tom Carrier, have recommended that we take immediate action to resod the field. So I reviewed where we had some of the designated funds, and there was $26,915 that is excess from a project that was implemented last year for lighting at O'Hara Field. And so those funds, what we're asking for this evening is to repurpose or redesignate those towards the need for sodding Ryder 1, which is a really important field for the Derry Eagle Soccer Club. If you walked out there now, it really got beat up over the springtime. We are still working on the comprehensive plan with different fields. It is obviously really critical that we support the recreation needs throughout the community, particularly the soccer program, because they don't have a lot of alternate fields. We can't shift them over to football field and things. We're asking for repurposing at $26,000. Tom and Kim Walsh have both initiated bid processes, and they have somebody identified to get this thing moving as quickly as possible. And obviously, they will make sure they irrigate it in the hot temperatures so it'll be ready to play this fall.
Questions? Counsel Chase.
Pretty straightforward.
So what caused the field to deteriorate so rapidly this spring so that when the sod is replaced, the same thing is going to happen next spring if we have one similar to this one?
One of the concerns that was brought up in the recreation study that was commissioned in 2020 was we have a shortage of rectangular fields. And one of the things that had been put out there was, let's look at it, let's explore a project behind West Running Brook to build combination baseball field and rectangular field, but the price came back at about $2.5 million. So we have a design on it, but obviously we don't have the funds to bring that forward. So Rider 1 and Rider 2 are used heavily both in the spring and in the fall by the soccer clubs, and it's really the only fields that they have. I think they use Buckley Field on occasion, but primarily it's those two fields for their recreation programs. And so we're always under pressure. Remember how we had a really poor spring? It was wet, and so it puts our recreation director in a really tough spot. Do you shut the fields down for the fear that they're going to be ripped apart if you play in poor conditions? But these seasons, oftentimes in the spring, having a kid that plays, soccer and baseball and whatnot, the natural turf gets beat up pretty frequently, and that's what happened this year. So they had to make a really tough decision. Do we shut the fields down because they're wet, or do we continue to allow those seasons to go forward? And unfortunately, it bit them this year, and there's some really, the field borderline is unsafe around, particularly in the goalmouth areas on that side of it. So it's kind of a shortage of fields, but it's also the fact that they're overused, and I don't know that that goes away. But the sod will get this back up to playability. They've done some small sections, like at Barca School. That field has been used in the past for some soccer uses, and that has been, put some sod down, and that's worked out well. So I want to put out there that this isn't just a one-year situation, that's going to be, it will fill in some areas, and I think it'll have at least a 5 to 10 year, lifespan.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay.
All right, one last one, Mr. Chairman. Unless you get anything in your back pocket. Resolution number 2025-045 to authorize the use of bond proceeds for improvements to the Ryder Field, number 1. Whereas Section 5.1 of the Town Charter designates the Town Council as the governing and legislative body of the town, whereas the council previously authorized a supplemental appropriation for recreation facilities pursuant to Resolution 2018-067, whereas the Town Council previously authorized the Town Administrator to implement the Recreation Facilities Plan pursuant to Resolutions 2020-031, 2023-014, 2023-48, whereas a combination of market conditions, prioritization of projects to be completed, and the amount of available funds requires a reallocation of resources among those projects, now therefore be resolved in council that the Town Administrator is hereby authorized to implement the following. 1, release the remaining allocation to the lighting upgrades of O'Hara Field in the amount of $26,915 from previous resolution 2023-48, obligate the sum of $26,915 from the Recreation Facilities Bond for improvements to Ryder Field number 1. I guess I'll say effective immediately, should be adopted. It's not in the motion, but we'll make it effective immediately.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. On the motion, Council Granessi?
Yes.
Council Spencer?
Yes.
Council Chase?
Yes.
Council Mojay?
Yes.
Council McEachran?
Yes.
The chair votes yes, motion carries 6-0. Mike, the remaining proceeds, about $1 million.
About $1 million, yes. Yep.
Use by date?
We are probably beyond that arbitrage penalty. One of the things that I am working with both Tom and Kim on is to reset our plan for the remaining use of it. Hood Park obviously being the largest portion of that. So we do expect to come back within probably the next 60 to 90 days with kind of a more comprehensive restart. But yeah, we are at that point where that bond is either kind of like use it or lose it. It's penalties that you incur, not loss of funds.
Okay. Thank you. Councilor comments, liaison reports, questions. Councilor Granessi?
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I just had a couple of comments. So I just want to give kudos out to the transfer station staff. I've been there a couple of times with my truck loaded with construction debris and carpet, and everybody's willing to help, which is appreciated, and I'm like, no, I'll take care of it. They do a great job out there. So just publicly, kudos to them. Thank them, everybody, for what they do out there. And then I had a constituent reach out to me. I don't know if you reached out to other councilors about some work that the town's doing, some questions I didn't know, and I forwarded to Public Works Director Tom Carey. I was talking to Mr. Fowler about that earlier, and he got right back to him, which is awesome. Tom does a great job. All his staff does a great job, and so I want to publicly thank everybody for that. And the constituent was very thankful for the detailed response. So, you know, I always say it's always nice to tell people that you're appreciated, because sometimes you don't hear it, but I just want to say thank you.
I agree. Counselor Chase, you have something?
All set.
Jake, Councilman Kirkman?
All set.
So, what? Aaron, Counselor Spencer, do you have anything?
Yeah, just a couple of quick things, just kind of some of the stuff that's come up through the meeting that just wanted to congratulate Mr. Lindeman as the new Heritage Commission Chair. I think that's a great choice after having seen the Meeting House and the work that he's been helping with there. Again, our finance team is amazing, so congratulations on our continued excellence. And I'm really excited to hear that the HB 405 Commission is moving, and thank you to Chief Fioli and Mr. Fowler for being on that commission. It's going to be very important to keep that 40% and increase it over time, closure rate of those illicit massage parlors, or whatever the term they were using. So just thank you to everyone for a job well done.
Great, thank you. And to that point, also on House Bill 405, I know a lot of people are saying, well, why did it take 7 or 8 years for us to come to fruition? There had to be a law change up at the State House. Unfortunately, the penalties weren't severe enough previously told this year. So that's what the whole catalyst to everything was there wasn't enough penalty, and it was a kind of repeat offense type thing. So, again, to reiterate, it is being severely scrutinized and looked at, so we are in the right direction with this. And Mark, again, congratulations on great job, as usual. And to Councilor Gernessie's point, our staff is second to none here. We're very fortunate here in Derry, so thank you to all the department heads and whatnot.
Mr. Chairman, I do have one other thing before we close out tonight.
What's that?
I just want to say a happy belated birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, just
Yesterday was your big day.
yeah, older and uglier every day, so it is what it is.
21.
Yeah, yesterday was my 21st anniversary of being legal to drink. So,
Wow, there you go.
so having said that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.